Good morning. Thank you to everyone for coming out on this nice cold morning. It feels like winter, doesn't it? I'm Karen York. I'm Executive Director of Communications for Richland One. Welcome to the announcement of the 2022 Richland One Hall of Fame induction class. The Richland One Hall of Fame recognizes graduates of Richland One schools and other persons throughout the district's history who have made significant contributions to Richland One, their professions, their communities, and society as a whole. 92 men and women have been inducted since the Hall of Fame was established in 2004. Induction into the Richland One Hall of Fame is the highest honor awarded to individuals by the Richland One Board of School Commissioners. At this time, I'd like to ask our board chairwoman, Mrs. Cheryl Harris, to come up to welcome everyone on behalf of the board. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. It is certainly an honor to stand before you on what I call such a grand occasion. And I think that anytime we gather to celebrate those that have labored amongst us is always a grand occasion. I have the pleasure of introducing my colleagues that are here. Our Vice Chair-elect for 2023, Dr. Aaron Bishop, is here, along with Commissioner Devine, who's serves as our parliamentarian this year and has been recruited to do it again in 23. So glad to have them. I don't think any of my other colleagues are with us on today, but nevertheless, we are grateful for them being here on today. But as we stated before, on occasions like this, it's almost like graduation date in the district, or the first day of school, or those visits, those moments we have with the students where we get to sit down and eat lunch with them and talk to them. Hall of Fame is kind of up there with all of that. And I'm excited because the honorees that's being inducted this year are individuals that I know, and I've seen your work. As a matter of fact, my children have benefited from some of the things that you've done, with Miss McGrant. All four of my children was in Miss McGrant's class. So, I've seen her in action along with Dr. Smith and Mr. Young and all of those that are being inducted today. So I know that this is a great class that we are celebrating here on today. And it just goes to show that, a lot of times when we're out here working, it may feel like people don't see or appreciate the things that you're doing. But, God has a time and a set time that, you get the honor and the credit that you deserve. And Hall of Fame is just a small way on a big scale that we say thank you for what you've done. We would not be the strong district that we are today. I tell young people all the time. I was speaking to a group of kids this morning. That's why I was running a little late. And I told them, I said, you don't realize the shoulders that you stand on. And I started talking about the Charles Bowdens and the Vince Fords. And these kids were just sitting there mesmerized to hear. And I said, guys, you have such a rich history. So to our inductees this morning, we say on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, you are a part of that rich history that this district has, this district shares, and this district continues to stand on. So kudos to you. We look forward to February. I'm trying to get slim so I can get in a nice little small gown, because that's the party of all parties, But thank you so very much for contributing to this amazing district and making it what it is today. We would not be where we are as Richland One if it wasn't for you. And you may think that your contribution was small, but it wasn't. It was major. And as I tell children all the time, you can do something small in a grand way. And today echoes that. You've done some things that you might have felt was small, but today we are saying to you, you did it in a grand way, so much that it impacted not just my life, but even the generations of children that are now following. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That does not mean you get to retire. Okay, you continue to support the district. And all of you have retired from us, but we appreciate your faces being in the place because you set the tone for this district and for the fulfillment of its mission. I also want to recognize Commissioner Myers that just walked in as well, being with us. And before I take my seat, I have to say thank you to Mr. Bob Bachman. You've been with us a long time, laboring with this Hall of Fame. Gail, I told somebody the other day, I said, it's time to induct Mr. Bachman. Because Mr. Bachman, you are an original. And we appreciate you because you do what you do with so much heart and so much compassion. And to Karen York, you already know you just rock. You rock every day. And we appreciate you. Again, thank you so very much for being here on this morning. And we say welcome, welcome, welcome from the Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Chairwoman Harris. Before we announce who they are, Mr. Bob Bachman, who serves as a member of the Hall of Fame Advisory Board, will give you a brief overview of the 2022 induction class. Mr. Bachman.
Good morning. Chairwoman Harris, Commissioner Bishop, Commissioner Devine, Commissioner Myers, Dr. Witherspoon. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Clyburn. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Sorry. Didn't mean to leave you out. Dr. Witherspoon, members of the staff, and friends of Richland One, and especially our honorees, their representatives, and their families. What a special day this is, when Richland One has the opportunity to identify and to begin to recognize people who have made significant contributions to their schools and to Richland One, to their communities, to their professions, and to their society at large. And equally important, you have been inspirations to so many students, so many teachers, administrators, and families. Our honorees today, as Ms. York will identify specifically and describe a little bit, have in common a real commitment to education. And their experiences, the opportunities that they have demonstrate the depth of their commitment and the breadth of their contributions. And what they have done is they have acknowledged the value of their own educations because they have promoted education in so many others. And in that way, they have given back to those people who contributed to their own learning and to their own knowledge of the world. They have made indirect effects on our society through the thousands of students that they have taught. And there is not a profession or an occupation in which you will not find someone who has been inspired, taught, advised, and influenced by our honorees. Their contributions are that broad. And they have contributed to making the future. And if I were to describe our honorees, just in general, without any specifics, I would say that they are highly regarded in their reputations as teachers and administrators. They are known for their communicative, collaborative, and leadership skills. They have been trailblazers in their professional field. They have been innovators in developing programs and policies. They have contributed to curriculum development programs and strategic planning programs. They've held numerous positions and fulfilled many responsibilities at the district level and expanding their influence. They have served as official and unofficial counselors and mentors to students and student athletes. They have been mentors to other practicing teachers and rising administrators. They have developed student motivational programs. They have participated in community service activities in their churches and in volunteer organizations. They have been frequently honored by their peers and professional organizations for their contribution. And surely you will see, when you get to know who our honorees are, that they are deserving of being members of our Hall of Fame, consistent with so many other people who have been inducted in our Hall of Fame. They are true servants, and we honor them today, and we will continue to do so in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bachman. And now I am honored to announce the distinguished members of the 2022 Richland One Hall of Fame induction class. And I know it's going to be very tough, but I'll ask that you hold your applause until all of the honorees have been announced. We're going to give you their resumes are quite extensive, but we'll just give you a brief snapshot of each one. Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams Earley graduated from Booker T. Washington High School in 1934. After furthering her education at Wilberforce University in Ohio, she returned to Columbia, where she taught junior high school mathematics and general science in Richland One for 4 years, attending graduate school at The Ohio State University during her summer breaks. In 1942, she joined the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, later known as the Women's Army Corps, or WACS, and entered the first class of African American female officer candidates at Fort Des Moines, Iowa. She became the first African American female officer in the WACS. In March of 1945, she was appointed the commanding officer of the 1st Battalion of African American Women, the 6888th Central Postal Directory Battalion, which was responsible for the delivery of mail to over 7 million soldiers during World War II. By the completion of the war, she was the highest-ranking African-American woman in the military. She ended her active duty in 1946. In addition to her contributions as an educator and to the military, she was a founding member of what is known today as the Columbia Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and she was the chapter's first president. She passed away in January of 2002. Ella McGrant is a 1959 graduate of Hopkins High School. She gave 31 years of dedicated service to Richland One. She began her tenure in the district as a science teacher and taught for 14 years. She went on to serve as an administrative assistant for 1 year, director of guidance and counseling for 11 years, and assistant principal for 5 years. She served on several Richland One committees, including strategic planning, career planning curriculum, and the initial planning for the International Baccalaureate curriculum and diploma for high school students. When the district embarked upon a program to afford students the opportunity to travel abroad, she was an advocate for the program, and she assisted in nominating and selecting students to participate. She also planned and sponsored fundraising activities to help students with essentials for the trip to Russia several years, and she planned and sponsored fundraising activities for middle school students to travel to Africa for 2 years. Mrs. McGrant worked at Hopkins High School, A.C. Flora High School, and she retired from W.J. Keenan High School in 1996. Her contributions extended beyond the walls of the schools in which she worked. She and her late husband provided several acres of land in the Harrell Hill area for young children to play softball and baseball. When the boys in the Pony League team her husband coached at Hopkins Park became ineligible for the Pony League, they formed a sandlot team known as the Hopkins Warriors, and they played on the McGrant's ball field for over 20 years, supplied with uniforms, equipment, transportation, and refreshments. Mrs. McGrant continued sponsoring the Hopkins Warriors after her husband's death. Dr. Carlos L. Smith is a 1967 graduate of C.A. Johnson High School. He served Richland One for 36 of his 40 years in education as a teacher, coach, and as an administrator at the school and district levels. His many contributions to Richland One included leading the implementation of the C-average policy, which requires students in grades 6 through 12 to have at least a 2.0 GPA to participate in competitive co-curricular activities. He also led the implementation of athletic academic assistance programs for middle and high school students. Additionally, he led the development, facilitation, and supervision of the Richland One Elementary Water Safety and Swim Lessons program. He co-chaired the district's task force on athletic health issues that ultimately led to Richland One mandating automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, at all secondary schools, along with first aid and safety, CPR, AED training for all coaches. His honors and awards include being named the 2012-2013 District Level Administrator of the Year by the South Carolina Association of School Administrators, or SCASA. Dr. Smith retired from Richland One in 2015 as assistant to the superintendent, ombudsman, and athletics director. He remains a loyal and devoted member of C.A. Johnson's Alumni Association and the Men's Breakfast Club. Bobby R. Young's teaching and coaching career spanned 5 decades. He served for 38 years as the head girls varsity basketball coach at Columbia High School from 1982 until his retirement in 2020. He made history as the longest-serving girls varsity basketball head coach in South Carolina. Coach Young led the Lady Capitals to 5 state championship wins and 3 runner-up titles. His team motto was work together, play together, win together. He is proud of the number of student athletes he and his coaching staff mentored and guided to successful collegiate sports careers, military service, or gainful employment. Coach Young's many honors and awards include being inducted into the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association's Hall of Fame and the South Carolina Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame. In 2002, the Young and the Relentless Scholarship was established and named in honor of Coach Young and his wife, Mary, both teachers in Richland One and Columbia High School. The Young Family Foundation offers a $1,000 annual scholarship to a deserving senior at Columbia High. In January of this year, 2022, Columbia High School's gymnasium was named in Coach Young's honor. And they're going to make me emotional, not. Let's give the members of the 2022 Richland One Hall of Fame induction class a round of applause. So at this time, if they would like to do so, we would like to offer the induction class members an opportunity to make some brief remarks about their selection for induction into the Hall of Fame. This morning, we're pleased to have with us members of the Columbia Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I'd like to ask Ms. Mary Smith to come forward and give some remarks about Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams Earley's selection. Ms. Smith.
Thank you. The members of the Columbia Alumni Chapter are very honored to be here with you today. We are very proud of our sorority sister, Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams Earley. There are some members here today. I would like for them to stand. Unfortunately, Mrs. Earley's family could not be with us here today. So we are here in their honor of her children, and their names are Mr. Stanley Earley III and Judith Murphy. We'd also like to share with you that just so many great, amazing things happens. Of course, we all know with students and employees of Richland District 1, And just to add another honor that we just found out about our sorority sister today is Tyler Perry will be making a Netflix film about her life in the military. Again, thank you for this honor, and hopefully her family can be here in March to accept on her behalf. Thank you.
Good morning. First, I would like to thank the following entities that played a major role in this award. Minister Dorothy Simon for submitting the nomination application. My family, who supported me throughout the years. My daughter, Katrina Thompson, my son-in-law, Andre Thompson, my grandson, Ernest Alexander Thompson, and my granddaughter, Janelle Alexis Thompson, who is working on her master's in Miami, and she's not able to be here. Also, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for this honor. And last but not least, thanks to Richland School District 1 for affording me the opportunity to work with the best people in the world. The students, the administrators, the staff, and each and every one of you in the community played a major role in molding me to become the person that I am today. I am also very fortunate to have taught two of the late school board commissioners, the late Shirley Davis and the late Vincent Ford. And I also worked with Commissioner Bishop, that is, worked with him at W.J. Keenan High School. So I feel very blessed to have worked with so many wonderful people here in Richland School District 1. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to accept this award and this recognition from the school from which I graduated and worked tirelessly. Thank you again.
Good morning. The words blessed and grateful capture the essence of my being at this moment. Blessed meaning God is in the midst and has invoked his divine presence and favor. For in him we live, move, and have our being. Grateful meaning being thankful and appreciative for people who in interactions and circumstances help me with my personal and professional growth and development. Similarly, I hope that staff, the board, students, parents, and the community benefited in some way and to some degree from my work and service as we work collaboratively to seek to gain the district's mission. I am blessed and grateful that two of my former colleagues and friends, Mrs. Helen Jones and Dr. Sunita Kosar, thought enough of me and my work to submit an application on my behalf for this recognition. I am eternally grateful. I am blessed and grateful that the advisory committee, led by Bob Bachman, who I was his daughter's principal at Dreer, and the selection committee thought my work and service was worthy enough to recommend approval to the Board of School Commissioners, and blessed and grateful that the board approved their recommendation. To God be the glory for the things he has done. I'm blessed and grateful that past superintendents and school boards had the full faith and confidence in my work to place me oftentimes in an array of temporary yet critical school assignments. But you know what? In each assignment, I enjoyed the challenge. I enjoyed my work. I enjoyed the challenge and hope that my presence was stabilizing and assuring for students, parents, staff, and the community. I am blessed and grateful of my foundational education I received here in Richland One. I was born and educated all within a 2-mile radius of this building. I was born in G7 Allen Benedict Court, in the projects, into a loving family, a loving mother, a loving father who unfortunately died when I was just 18 months old, so I didn't know him that well, but I have pictures of him. 2 extremely sweet sisters, both deceased. One worked with Bobby for years, Nisha, and June, who both became retired educators, and June was a principal in Charlotte, North Carolina. And one older brother, who Mrs. Morant went to school with at State, Frank, who became an Army colonel. And my siblings were exceptionally good role models for me. I am blessed and grateful that I was also raised and nurtured by a stepfather, Freddie James Robinson, a stern taskmaster. He owned 2 different pool rooms down there on Reed Street. You've heard Vince talk about Reed Street. Vince was a little boy when I was there, okay? The pool rooms were in the shadow of Allen Benedict Court and also the shadow of the Hardin Street Fire Station that I used to sit in the dirt, play and eat the dirt in the G building in Allen Benedict Court and look at the fire trucks go and come. It was amazing to me. Although only completing the 5th grade, my stepfather taught me, starting at 5 years of age in this pool room, many of life's enduring lessons such as business management, customer care, interpersonal relations, and the value of work. I sincerely believe that the combination of my being street smart and book smart, coupled with 3 years in the Army, helped me to successfully navigate the public school environment. Finally, I am blessed and grateful for my wife, children, 5 granddaughters, my immediate family, my extended family, and my church family. Without their support and encouragement, I would not be standing before you. Again, thank you for this recognition of my work and service. I am blessed and eternally grateful.
So as has been referenced briefly, we will have the induction gala in March. And this is an unusual year because this will be the 2nd induction gala this school year. And that's because the induction for the 2021 induction class, that gala was postponed. It was scheduled for February, but COVID numbers were still high at that time. So we had that gala in September. And one of the persons we honored in September is here with us this morning, Mr. Henry Young. And we are, of course, proud of him. And he nominated Coach Young, and he will give remarks on his behalf. Mr. Young.
Good morning. As I said a couple of months ago, it's so nice to see so many of you here today. If you were at the occasion, you remember that story. To the Board of School Commissioners present, Dr. Craig Witherspoon, Superintendent of Richland District 1, to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee members present, to Mrs. Karen York, Communications Director, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to say a few words on behalf of my friend and professional colleague, Bobby R. Young, affectionately known as Coach. I would like to also say that on behalf of his wife, Mary, who is a retired math educator from Columbia High School. His daughter, Vicky, Dr. Vicky. His other daughter, Tracy, Dr. Tracy. And Tracy's children, Carlisle, Chandler. Oh, they're right out there. And Noble the third. They're right outside the door. We are very proud of Bobby's selection to be inducted into the Richland One Hall of Fame. We would like to congratulate Coach Young, and we'd like to congratulate the other inductees. And I'm smiling because I've worked with two of them, very much so. And so on behalf of the Young family, we look forward to the induction ceremony, and we'd like to thank the selection committee for his inclusion into this Hall of Fame class. Coach, very well deserved. We love you, we're with you, and we just can't wait for that induction ceremony. I'll be happy to go back once again. Amen.
Can't speak for me. It's because he thinks that I'm his brother. My daughter told him, and we pick little mustard onions, blackberries, everything he can possibly do. Him and I can live so long, so long. So one thing I want to say, we are educated families. We are educated families. And follows. Yes, sir. I used to meet him all the time and talk about his, well, I guess it was business with education, how he was, he loved education and he wanted to do it. And we have the social conversation every year down at Olympic School, and we talk, and we all members to the thing. And one thing that I wanted first from my daughter, all of my daughters are kids, because we taught them that they should go step brother in our family. I have a master's cook, 30, a wife, master's cook, 30. We don't y'all stop. We want y'all to point. Both of my kids do. Each one to go on the public cover. Amen. Well done.
Let's give all of our induction class members one more round of applause. As I ask our superintendent, Dr. Craig Witherspoon, to come up and give us some remarks. Let's give Dr. Witherspoon a hand.
Thank you, and good morning to each and every one of you. This event, as Chairwoman Harris said, is always special because, you know, in education, kind of like life, you know, you plant a seed, and that seed grows, and that seed bears fruit. And as we've seen today, there's a lot of fruit and a lot of excellence that has been disseminated, not only here in the Richland One community, but as was demonstrated across this country and across the world. We talk about in education a lot with curriculum. I know we got a lot of educators and folks in education we talk about, you know, going deeper. as opposed to wide and all that? Do you cover all kinds of things, or do you cover a few things and you go deep? Well, I would say this class here is deep and wide. Let me say that again, deep and wide. And I'm always amazed or gratified being here in Richland One that so much of the great folks in our community certainly come out of this district. Out of this district. And we are so proud today. We are very, very proud. And I do want to take a point of personal privilege, and again, congratulations to all of our honorees. But as Carlos mentioned, worked for many superintendents, self-included, and in various places. And when I came on board, he was ombudsman and athletic director, assistant to the superintendent. And I used to walk past his office and hear him on the phone. And he would call somebody's name. Now, you know, I knew your parents and your grandparents, and they wouldn't want you acting this way. And I would hear that same refrain over and over. And they would go from here right to here. Yeah, you're right. I understand. But he certainly had that connection with this community. Ms. McGrath had done some great things for our community, certainly, and to the Earley family. Great things in this community and across our country. And Coach Young, same thing. We were at Columbia High when you were recognized, and such a wonderful occasion and showing that reach as well. So again, thank you, Mr. Bachman, the committees, this Board of Commissioners that see it, you know, again, as the work we do on a day-to-day basis, year-to-year basis to move our young people that we currently have. But they have the wisdom and foresight to look ahead as well. And to see what do we do on a day-to-day, week-to-week, semester-to-semester, year-to-year process so we can produce future Hall of Famers in the eyes of our young people, in the eyes of our parents, in the eyes of our community. So again, congratulations to our inductees this year. We look so forward to the event that we're going to be having and continue. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I believe we have at least one member of our nomination selection committee with us, and I'd like her to stand and be recognized. Dr. Eunice Williams, one of our executive directors of schools. So, this is not it today. So, as we mentioned, in March, specifically on Saturday, March 4th, 2023, we will hold the Richland One Hall of Fame Induction Gala at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. So please save that date and make plans to attend. Of course, additional details about the gala, including sponsorship opportunities and ticket information, will be announced in January. So thank you all for joining us this morning, and congratulations to the members of the 2022 Hall of Fame induction class. We look forward to seeing all of you in March, and before everyone leaves, please enjoy some light refreshments. Have a great day and happy holidays to everyone.